We're moving now to the southern border. President Biden naming a new Border Patrol chief. That's 27-year-old Border Patrol veteran Jason Owens. Now, Owens currently leads the Border Patrol sector in Del Rio, Texas. In a statement, he said that Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas called Owens a talented, selfless and inspiring leader who is dedicated to Border Patrol's law enforcement mission.
So for more on this, let's welcome in former Homeland Security Department advisor Charles Marino and I'm going to say this wrong. Is it Cochise County? How do I say it?
You got it, Cochise.
Wow.
Cochise, all right, good. Arizona Sheriff and Border Security Chairman of the National Sheriff's Association, Mark Dannels. Good morning to both of you.
Morning.
Morning. You. So, Charles, I'll start with you. I want to get your reaction to the new chief. Good pick?
Great pick. I know Jason Owens for quite a long time. He's a consummate professional, well-respected amongst the troops. But with that said, look, the agents want to start doing their jobs of enforcing the law down on the border. So at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who you put in charge. If they're not allowed to execute their responsibilities and get this problem under control here, the troops are going to remain frustrated and morale will remain low. So Jason's got his work cut out for him. But if anyone can step up and do it, the administration would be wise to let him do his job and lead.
Well, an estimated 2 million immigrants have released from the southern border into the US. Now, they're unlikely to face removal. That's what we're hearing now. Now, what do you make of this case? Now, Sheriff, I'm going to turn to you on this one. Is it rewarded to enter the country illegally? Because that's what it sounds like here.
Well, it's incentivized, and you're exactly right on that, Sarah. This is something I said to Secretary Mayorkas about a year and a half ago in El Paso, Texas. The fact that we need better judicial oversight on our borders. He said he 100% agreed with me, but as you see, a year and a half, almost 2 years later, nothing has happened on that. So these people that are being released in the country, all it is fracturing the infrastructure of DHS, CBP to actually have judicial oversight on these individuals. Chances are no, they will not be returned to Mexico.
Sheriff, it's fracturing a lot more than just those agencies tasked with dealing with this, because as these migrants go throughout the United States, you have police departments and the infrastructure of major cities, whether it's services for the hospitals, schools, and so on. So it's even bigger than that, and it's completely exacerbated at this point. But I want to get to the diplomacy, because while President Joe Biden remains absent from the southern border, his opponent is out there. So let's take a listen to his opponent.
This is a humanitarian crisis because of the understanding across the globe that we now have an open border here. There are people being drawn here. They're being abused. There's all kinds of just horrific, terrible, terrible stories. And this is not a good thing for our country. It's not a good thing for these people, and it is unsustainable.
So Charles, RFK Jr. at the border saying it's unsustainable. What is his presence at the southern border? Do you think I think it's very significant, because again, it's bringing more attention, but it's also because he's such a high-profile Democrat going against the president of the United States.
No, absolutely. Look, it's good for him in terms of understanding and get the latest briefings, not just from CBP, but also the sheriffs and others on the ground that are experiencing this every single day. It sends a great message to the troops. But look, if I'm Joe Biden and I really care about what's going on down at the border, which we know he apparently does not, I'm sending the Secretary of Homeland Security down to the border to work out of the border until this gets fixed. No longer would he show up to work in Washington, D.C. in his nice, comfortable office. Get your butt down to the southwest border. I don't care where it's at. If it's El Paso, set up an office down there and work the problem every single day and have to face the men and women of law enforcement until this gets solved. That's the sign of a true leader if the president really wanted to solve this. But the administration doesn't. They've created the exact environment that they promised the immigration advocacy groups during the campaign, and that was open borders.
Sheriff, I got 20 seconds to you for the last word. What we just heard there from Charles was work the problem. What say you?
Well, I agree with you, Michael, and I agree with my colleague on this panel. The bottom line is this. Robert Kennedy, Governor DeSantis last week, both were at the border, both showed very well. They both had the will to hear us, understand it, and fix it. This president, President Biden, has failed to prioritize our borders.
Very well said. Sheriff Mark Dannels and Charles Marino, thank you very much for joining us this morning. We appreciate your commentary.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Have a good day.